I'm Sundie and I've been with Lifeway for almost a year now. But before this journey, I've been in the regenerative medicine and holistic health for 14 years. So my story started about 4 years ago, about end of 2019, when I got diagnosed with toxic mold poisoning. And that nearly took my life. And that's how that catapulted me into going into the regenerative medicine. So I've done everything from frequency medicine, such as Rife machines or hyperbaric therapy, PEMF, ozones. I was steam sauna and cleansing, parasitical cleansing, all sorts of diet changes, as well as swallowing all kinds of pills. And I've done it all, and they all were working to save my life because before the whole patches, my skin it turned like elephant skin. I think some of you who've experienced this will know what that means. It turned hard. My color discolored, like turned dark, because I had toxic overload, like heavy metal overload. And then I had over 20 different types of bacteria and disease. There were just too much going on with toxic mold. And if anybody is familiar with mold, it can kill you. It can even cause cancer, and it goes into your body and disrupt your immune system. So that was what my journey was. And so as I was spending so much time, as I was talking to Laura earlier, and Leah earlier, about how I would have to spend about 6 to 7 hours a day under these frequency machines just to kill all the infections that I was having. And that would take me about 3 days out of a week to do that. So I would have to just lay there and do my work there. Now that the patches are in my life, I still maintain some of the modalities, but I don't have to be like that anymore. I'm living my life now. So as I was going through this journey, my friend Lillian Walker, maybe most of you will know her, the powerhouse, she is a friend of mine, and I met her for a long time ago. And she told me to come on the Zoom call. And she says, Sundie, come on Zoom call here. Dr. Stacy speak about the stem cell technology. So I went on and I heard Dr. Stacy spoke, and I was like, okay, these are for me. I'm excited to have them. So I ordered these the silver pack, which is the X39, X49, carnosine, and Eon. And I got them. But the day I got them, my dad collapsed and went into the ER. And I didn't know what was going on. So I took the boxes the day I got the package, and I went to the hospital, and I found out that he has lymphoma cancer. And he was having a bloody stool. So he was bleeding, he was very weak. And my dad's like 6'2", he's very tall. And to see him very weak and just laying in the hospital bed was kind of, it was kind of sad to witness that. So I told my dad, no worries. I know it says lymphoma, they're trying to transfer you, but let's patch these patches on. I heard great things about it. So that night I patched my dad with those 4 patches that I mentioned. And I just told him to drink water. And I went away. And the next day he texted me and said 50% of his bleeding stopped. And then the second time he used the patches, 100% of his bleeding stopped. So that was a miracle. And then that was the same day that I started patching as well, which I know that you're going to show the photos of my legs. I'm going to jump a little bit, but going back to my condition with my skin and parasites and all the other stuff happening. So August 25th was the day that I also went to the hospital to patch my dad. And that's how my legs look. They looked before the patches. And then it took about 4 months of patching, of extreme itching and irritation. And I understand now why that is, because the body's healing and the parasites, or, everything was dying. As they were dying, the itching, or the healing crisis, I would say, that's what I was experiencing for 4 months. For 3.5 months, it started to get flat. I still have scars, and that was July 2023 I took. So I still have a few spots left, but it's nothing compared to what I had before. And I wanted to explain that I was dry shaving it with a razor every day. So I know people will think that's insane, but the itching was too intense, to a point it was itching from a cellular level, and it really messed with your mind. And again, I had over 25 symptoms, including Lyme, multiple chemical sensitivity, arthritis, brain fog, microtoxins are everywhere in my brain, as well as, the mold. So that's what I was dealing with. And there are other pictures that we're not showing, but that was all over my body as well. You know, you can imagine the neck from everything was just wrinkled up. Like I said, it was elephant skin, and I just didn't have any energy, let alone being functioning. And I was walking around like snowflakes, like the skin was just shedding. It was gross. Anyway, so I thought I'd share that. And it's important for people to know that I have tried everything kind of under the sun, you know, and spent a lot of money in health. And I have met.
So let me interrupt you. Not
yes,
to
please.
Be rude. Some people are probably wondering, the picture that they just saw, how long had you been patching when you started seeing and noticing result? Like, when did it all start coming together for you?
Okay, so since the August 25th, the day I patched him, I'm the lucky one, the 80% that noticed it the first day. Like I was in pain that day. My pain went away. My energy came back. I had a clear mind. But it took 4 months for the scars and that bump, the oozing out, the pus, to go flatten and, you know, stop that for 4 months. It took 4 months.
Wow.
And then I started August, so 25th would be the year. It'll be a year coming up. Then that's how my legs look in July. So, and my whole skin is glowing. Like my, you know, my arthritis with my finger, I know this is like a little bent, but it was like this, and now is that. So everything else is changing in my, you know, inside my body. I'm so grateful for this. I mean, for David, for God, for Lillian, for all of you. So that's when I started sharing this product with everybody. It's just such a natural thing. The hair, speaking of hair, finally growing back, because it was like patches of, you know, bald spots in here. So it's finally growing back. So I would just tell people to be patient. And you know, there's still parts of me that are still healing right now. And I'm just excited to see what will be 2 years from now. Right. So, and I had like deeper wrinkles, and, you know, just, it looks different. The skin just glows with stem cells. So
tell everybody how old you are.
I had to think. I'm 39 and I'm about to be 40 next year.
Oh
so.
my gosh.
I would do everything. Meditation, right? I came out of a very toxic, abusive marriage. So you know that there's emotional attached to that. And I wanted people to know, if you're a mom that goes crazy in the evening, I was that mom, because it was too much for me. And thanks for pointing that out. That made me comfortable to share this. So I was going through a lot, emotionally, physically. And then whenever my son comes back to me, I will muster up my strength and, you know, take him everywhere. But it was too much for me. But these patches, now I'm such a happy mom. Like, I'm gonna get emotional. I'm stable. I have energy, but it's not, you know, it's a very grounded, focused energy. So that night before the patches came into my life, I prayed and I said, I know this will heal me, God, you know, but when and how? And that night I had a vivid dream that my legs were white again. And I knew, I woke up and I said, something's going to happen. And a few days later, Lillian texted me and said, come on Zoom with Dr. Stacy. So that, and the fact that the box came and the day that my dad got hospitalized, come on, that was just like, that's synchronicity right there. So, and there's a picture of me patching my dad. It's kind of floating around in the Telegram group. But that's the day that I, you know, as an honor to be able to be the vessel to save his life through this. And I even thanked David Schmidt about that when I saw him in the set. Yeah, because it was amazing.